Google Shopping ads. Should you set manual cost per click or enhanced cost per click for your campaign? What's the difference between the two bidding types and which one would drive more traffic and more sales for your Shopify store? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Clarice Lin, the ROI doctor who helps online store owners to grow and scale up profitable Google Shopping ads. If you're new to my channel, you want to download my free Shopify marketing guide where I go into the pros and cons of driving free and paid traffic to your store so you don't totally rely just on Google. You want to diversify the ways of driving shoppers to your store, so should anything happen to Google, you still can rely on alternative sources to drive shoppers and sales for your Shopify store. Link in the description and pinned comments. Do check that out. Before we go straight into the comparisons between the two bidding types, I want to clarify a couple of definitions, in particular cost per click and what's manual cost per click, enhanced cost per click, so we will be on the same page. So when I explain to you, you will have a better idea on what's the best option for your shopping campaign. First up, cost per click. As the name suggests itself, it's the cost you're going to pay for each click on your ad, leading a shopper or leading a Google user from your ad to your store. Cost per click is also known as CPC for short, and this is a very common terminology that's being used for digital marketing campaigns. It's used for Facebook marketing campaigns, for LinkedIn ads campaign, for Bing ads campaign as well. All of them would typically use CPC to measure what's the cost to drive that one click or that one visitor to your store. And why is cost per click important? Why do so many people keep talking about cost per click? Reason number one, knowing your cost per click allows you to calculate your overall advertising costs. What would it cost you to run a particular campaign if you know the cost per click in advance and how many clicks you want to get? So it gives you a better idea of what to set your budget for this campaign. Reason number two, knowing the cost per click also allows you to know how much you are bidding for each keyword. When you're running Google Shopping campaigns, you are bidding for each particular keyword. So knowing how much does each keyword cost allows you to know what's the effectiveness, if there are certain keywords that you may be paying higher or if you're paying it lower, how likely is each of these clicks that you're paying for, what's the chances of them turning into a sale, and if that's going to be profitable for your campaign overall. Reason number three, cost per click is also a way for you to diagnose if there's something wrong with your campaign. If your cost per click is too high, higher than what you would expect, there could be something wrong with your campaign, something you need to fix. Maybe you need to exclude certain keywords, or there's some setting that you need to fix. And if you're paying a really high cost per click, but you're not getting any sales at all, that means maybe you want to optimize your product title or your product descriptions because Google is not showing your shopping ads to the right people. So you want to fix that so you can lower your cost per click and hopefully get that clicks to turn into a sale. If you want to help Google to understand what your product ads is about, you want to increase the clickability of your shopping ads, you definitely want to optimize your product title. That is the number one attribute that Google looks at to show your ads to the right people. If you want to learn more about maximizing the clicks by optimizing your title, check out one of my videos, link in the top right hand corner of the screen, how to optimize your product titles to get the most number of Google clicks. And the number two attribute that Google looks at is your product description. Google wants to know and understand what your product is about, who is it for, who is it going to be best for, and who is most likely going to buy from you. So you want to make sure you have your keywords in your product description as well. If you want to help Google to understand what your product is about and show them to the right people, so there's more chances of them getting clicks and turning into a sale, you want to check out one of my other videos as well, how to optimize a product description, link in the top right hand corner of the screen. Reason number four, monitoring your cost per click allows you to see how your cost per click changes over the seasonality, if your competitors are also running ads as well. So if you have a good idea of what's the cost per click over different seasonality, also allows you to better budget for what's the right amount to set aside for your campaigns during different seasons, different times of the year, and helps you to know if you're going to be profitable during those periods as well. Reason number five, comparing your cost per click to your total conversion value, which is the total sales that comes from running your shopping ads. It allows you to know whether it's profitable for you to be running this shopping ad, whether you should be putting in more money if it's really profitable, or how can you get it to become more profitable. And if it's really profitable, you can also choose to outsource it to someone who can scale up your shopping ad on a larger scale to drive even higher profitability and higher sales volume for your store. Knowing your cost per click is critical for managing your Google Shopping campaign. It allows you to know if your campaign is doing really well, what's the performance of your campaign, to diagnose if there are any issues with your shopping campaign. It allows you to set the right budget and manage the cost for your Google Shopping campaign, and driving the overall profitability of your store just by running this campaign. Knowing your cost per click is critical. It's a very important metrics that I use very often when I talk to my clients. We discuss about the cost per click and how is it improving or how is it decreasing and why it is so and how does it relate to the overall performance of the campaign. Now that we're on the same page on what's the definition of the cost per click and why is it so critical for you to understand and manage your cost per click, let's go into the specifics. What is manual cost per click? When you set up a shopping campaign on the settings, you can decide if you want to set up a manual cost per click or an enhanced cost per click. Should you decide to set a manual cost per click, this is what it means. You set an amount, maximum amount of the cost that you're willing to pay for each click to your store. Google will take this instruction, and each time around, if they want to show your ad, they will only bid as high as the maximum amount that you have set. So they will not go beyond the cost per click that you have set for that shopping campaign. There is advantages and disadvantages. So the advantage of setting the maximum cost per click is obviously that you have more control over what Google is going to place on per click for your campaign or for your ad group or for each of your items. So it means you have larger control and you make sure that Google does not go beyond the amount that you have set. It also means that Google will not overspend for each click they're getting to your store, so it gives more predictability for your campaign. However, there is a key disadvantage. If your cost per click is set too low, that your cap is set too low, it means that Google will not show your ad to more people. You'll say, okay, you've decided you're only going to spend that amount per click, we're not going to go beyond. So if there's more competition, let's say between a very popular time slot and maybe you set a cost per click of maybe 60 cents, and then to be able to show in that time frame, you need to bid for 80 cents. That means your ad will not show during that popular time, even though there's more likely customers during that period who will more likely see your ad and click on it. So you will lose out in terms of getting the right people to the store while very willing to click on the ad and buy straight away. So you're missing out on those people. And in this scenario, it also means you have to spend more time monitoring your campaign to see, okay, you're not getting any clicks. Maybe you need to increase your maximum cost per click during that certain period. So you need to spend more time looking at your campaign and analyzing your campaign to make sure you're setting the right manual cost per click for your campaign. So unless you have loads of time to spend analyzing and monitoring your campaign, I'll usually recommend people to go for the enhanced cost per click. And what's enhanced cost per click? Enhanced cost per click is an automated bidding strategy for your shopping campaign. By selecting that, you can choose either to automate your bidding for maximize conversions or maximize conversion values, which I'll go into more details shortly. By selecting enhanced cost per click, you are telling Google to use their machine learning capabilities, using their algorithm to learn who to show your ads to and how much to bid for that. Going back to the example, let's say if there's a really popular slot between 3 to 4 p.m. where people are more likely to be browsing and deciding to buy, then even though it costs a higher cost per click, they are going to bid for that slot and show your ads during that time. So you're going to spend more higher cost per click. But then again, those clicks are going to more likely turn into sales. So in this case, even though you are spending slightly higher, but then you are going to get the sales in the end. And as long as that cost per click that Google is bidding for is still lower than your conversion value, it's still going to be profitable for you, you're still going to get sales that's going to cover the cost and give you profit for that click, then it makes it worth your while to use this strategy. The drawback of using this enhanced cost per click is you have to give this algorithm time to learn when is the best time to show your ad, when should they bid for more during certain days or during certain times, or which of your ads they should show to get the most amount of clicks for your store. So when I say machine learning, it means that Google needs to collect more data, collect more information based on how people react or respond to the ads that they have seen. So if your ads are really good and then someone clicks on it and then they turn into sale, then Google will know, all right, okay, it seems like the few clicks that we're getting today, they're converting into sales, so we should show to more of the same types of people. So this is what I mean by machine learning. So Google learns from previous performance, based on how they predict certain types of people are more likely to click and turn to a sale, they're going to show to more of those people. So you need to give the campaign time to learn. So usually after you set up a campaign, you need to wait for between 7 to 14 days for the campaign to stabilize, to be able to learn who to show more of your campaigns to more likely get the right clicks that turn into a sale. And when you select enhanced cost per click, you have the option of selecting maximize conversions or maximize by conversion values. The difference between the two of them is that one is you're maximizing for a sale, and the second one is to maximize for the sale value. And some people feel like they want to maximize the clicks to turn into sale value, but I usually recommend store owners to select maximize for sales. Because when you maximize for sales, what happens is you are trying to get as many people as possible to your store who are most likely to buy something from your store. When you're maximizing for conversion values, it means that you have to set a certain number to say, if someone comes to my store, I want them to spend at least this amount. That is sometimes a disadvantage as well for the campaign, because when you say, I only want to get someone who spent a certain amount, that means you are actually restricting and cutting down on the chances of people who might buy less for their first time but might buy more subsequently. So as long as you are getting people who are buying, and if they really enjoy your products, they really love your products, they're recommending to their friends, they want to buy more of it, then they're going to come back again and again. So the customer lifetime value of these shoppers is going to grow exponentially in the long term. However, if you're only targeting people who are buying the most amount possible for their first purchase, then you're missing out on potential customers who are going to buy more over a longer period of time. So I'll highly recommend, if you decide to go for enhanced cost per click, which I highly recommend you to do so, go for enhanced conversions instead of enhanced conversion value. If your campaign is performing well enough, maybe over a longer period of time, and you know that there's a certain profitability that you want to target, maybe you can decide to go for maximized conversion value. There's another video that you can watch where I talk about how to set the ideal target return on ad spend, which focuses on how to maximize your conversion value. You can check that out, link in the top right hand corner of the screen. But if you're just running a campaign between 3 to 6 months, I would highly recommend you to aim for enhanced cost per click, maximize conversions to make sure that you're getting as many sales as possible, in the hope that people who are buying from your store, they really like it, love your products. They're going to become your best advocates, and they're going to return again and again continuously over months and years. And one of the biggest advantage of selecting enhanced cost per click is you don't have to spend a lot of time monitoring that cost per click. Unlike the manual cost per click, maybe you need to monitor on a more regular basis, whereas on the enhanced cost per click, you trust that after you've set your budget limit and you have optimized your product feed, then Google is going to select the automated bidding strategy and select the best amount to spend for each click, so you're going to get shoppers for your store. Cool. I hope that gives you a clearer idea of your options for your Google Shopping campaign and help you to decide what's the best option when you set up your Google Shopping campaign. If you're watching this video, you would have heard about Google Analytics 4, which is also known as GA4. That is the newest version of Google Analytics. Previous version was known as Universal Analytics, which is also less known as GA3. And with Google Analytics 4, it's a whole different tracking system altogether. The ways to track conversion is also totally different. And if you want to use conversions to drive your Google Shopping campaigns, you want to set up your conversions correctly and send this conversion information to Google Ads account. And Google's algorithm can then use this information to locate more of the right people to buy more from your store. You have to set up the Google and YouTube app if you haven't set up already for your Shopify store, and you have to set up your conversion tracking and make sure that this information is sent to Google Ads. If you want to significantly drive more clicks for your Google Shopping campaigns, check out my video, 13 ways to drive more clicks for your Google Shopping ads. Link in the top right hand corner of the screen. Go into it, optimize your campaign to make sure you are getting the most out of your advertising budgets. If you want to grow and scale up your Google Shopping campaign to make them more profitable, do get in touch with me. My contact details in the description and pinned comments. I help Shopify store owners to optimize their shopping campaigns, optimize their Google ads to make them more profitable, to drive highly qualified traffic to your store that turns into sales. Don't forget to download my free Shopify marketing guide, link in the description and pinned comments, where I go into the pros and cons to help you decide what's the best way to drive more free and paid traffic to your store so you don't totally rely on Google. That's all for today. I'm Clarice Lin, the ROI Doctor. Stay profitable.